Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bricktorious Live, your weekly premiere Lego live show for fans of Lego just like you and me. We've got some awesome folks with us tonight. You recognize him from here at Boone Builds. He is my friend, a veteran of the live streams here. It is Dave Morgan. Dave,
hey, everybody.
Welcome to Bricktorious Live.
Thank you very much.
You know these next two from Lego Masters Season 2. It is Bryan and his sister, Lauren. Welcome, Bryan and Lauren, to Bricktorious. You are awesome. This is the part where we bounce our heads around.
Little dance.
Welcome to Bricktorious. And I pretend to sing because it's already got my... I'm on a wheelie chair, so I can like...
Oh, love it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Multi-access.
Bryan, Lauren, Dave, I'm so excited to have you tonight. Dave, thanks for being my my co-host this evening.
Sure,
let's head on over to the live chat. We've got Brett Hooper is here. Welcome, Brett. Matthew is here. Brickaroo Bonsai. Fazoom says, woo! Brendan is here. Raymond is here. Holly is here. Minifigure Collector. Evan Strum. Of course, Dave Morgan, Nate Flyer. I want to thank, before we even begin, I'll thank everyone in the chat for following the rules in the description of this video. And a huge thank you to my moderators for helping us be fun and safe in the live chat all evening. And I think it's about time for one more of that singing section. There it is. We dance one more time. It's gonna be glorious. Welcome to Bricktorious.
Oh, that's great.
Just with the four of us. Welcome to Bricktorious. All right. So much fun. Thank you so much for being here. I'll turn this down a little bit and we'll let it play out. Why can't I see the volume? There it is. Yeah. All right. Bryan, Lauren, Dave, welcome. We're going to have so much fun tonight. I really appreciate you for making time for this. Lauren, it randomly puts you at the top left of the screen. So you get to be first for check-in. How are things going?
Yeah.
Life is pretty slow right now, huh?
It is, yeah. Things are slowly getting back to normal a little bit. It's just so exciting each week getting to see an episode of Lego Masters. That is the highlight right now. Reliving it, seeing our friends back on screen, seeing us on screen, which is very surreal. 100%.
Yeah.
You know, you forget cameras are there. It's been an exciting time.
Are you watching together? Are you watching with friends, or what do you do?
Yeah, we've been watching together. So the first two episodes, Bryan drove down from LA and watched down here with us. And then for the third episode, we drove up to LA and met with him and we watched it. So we're always trying to be able to watch them together.
Yeah.
Awesome. So cool. Hey, DW Bricks. Hey, Cody O. Ahoy. Pod Studios, Brickham's Den. You're all here. C-Dub-Dubba. Howdy from Texas. Thank you very much. Oh, it's Chris. Thanks for watching, Chris. Bryan, what have you got going on? What's been going on lately?
I am looking forward to this weekend because it is Father's Day and we are going to be celebrating with our dad, and we are taking him to Legoland, California for Father's Day. So we are super excited for that. So we hope he loves it. We used to go as a family all the time. So probably the first time he's been back in quite a few years, so we felt like this was probably the right year to take him back. So, yeah.
I'm excited.
That is awesome. Cool. I have only been to Legoland, California one time. I got to take my daughters and my wife in 2019, summer of 2019, and it was lovely. I've been to one other location, one other Legoland location, but the one down there in California is awesome, and we had such a wonderful family vacation that year. Dave, we'll get to you in just a moment, but I have to mention Esh Daddy. Brian Saviano told me that I have to say Esh Daddy with $19.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Esh Daddy. LME Toys, building your mind one brick at a time. LME Toys. So was that a $19.99 advertisement for LME Toys? Building your mind one brick at a time. Thank you, Eshdedi, for your kind support of the Bricktorious live stream here. Dave, what has been going on with you?
Before I answer that, I have to tell you, I was trying to figure out how to type Eshdedi, but I couldn't figure out how to get that across in type, so because I thanked him. Not too much. Doing a little bit of finishing work on some mocks that have been just kind of sitting around for a while, but I finally got the motivation and I learned more about a lot of them had to do with foliage, and I hadn't done a lot of foliage, and I learned that doing foliage that looks good is not easy.
Oh,
but go ahead.
Do you have some foliage there that looks good?
Here's some sample trees that I built, but I have really the best thing is my Jurassic Park emergency shelter that I had a video on a little while ago.
Those are great looking trees, Dave.
Yeah.
And Lauren is full screen.
I noticed that. I was like, there's my face.
Oh, that was the problem. I removed Dave from the stream.
Bye, Dave.
Bye.
My screens.
Andy is here. Isha is here. Fazum is here. Thank you all so much for watching tonight. We really appreciate it. So we will do a few different things tonight. We're going to have a little AFL spotlight in just a little bit, and we will be featuring some creations, some history from Bryan and Lauren. We'll get their story here in just a little bit, and then we'll do a little bit more trivia after AFL spotlight. But first, we have got to get to our Minifig Mystery. Here it is. You can see it down in this bottom. Where can I move it around? Look, it's going to take Dave's place. The minifig is moving up the ladder. Moving up the ladder all the way to the top. It has replaced Lauren. And now it is going to get the major spot right here in the middle of the screen. Here it is, the Minifig Mystery. Everyone, I gave a choice last week. I said in the live chat, do you want Batman or do you want Looney Tunes? And they said Batman, and that leaves me with a Looney Tune. Look at this. I've got a shadow. This is totally random. I've got a shadow over here, and it's my partially assembled Monkey King Warrior mech.
Nice.
That's a little segue to come back tomorrow for the remainder of this build, the Monkey King Warrior mech. Lauren and Bryan, I'm sure you all will be busy. You don't have to come back, but I hope everyone in the live chat comes back. So you picked Batman last week. You get Looney Tunes this week. Lauren, do you have a guess as to who's in here?
Ooh, I want Bugs Bunny.
You want Bugs Bunny. All right. Bryan, you got a guess?
I want the Roadrunner all the way.
Bryan wants Roadrunner. Dave, you got a guess?
I'm going to say Porky Pig.
Porky Pig. Okay. Bryan Anderson says Sylvester. Shane just sent a super sticker for $9.99. Thanks a lot, Shane. You should send us a message. Super sticker is awesome, but I can't on StreamYard. I can't see what the super sticker is. Never occurred to me before. Grant says it's a coyote. Nick says it's Daffy. Cody says it's Brett. Oh no, Cody's just saying hi to people. Marvel Kid 25 thinks it's Tweety. All right. I felt the bag. I know what it is. And Lauren got lucky.
Oh,
Not lucky.
Wow.
It is
Lauren.
Wow.
the bunny himself, Bugs. And let's see. We'll put this guy together here. I will give away this Bugs Bunny minifigure later in the stream to the winner of the Brick Trivia. So stick around for that. We will test everyone in the live stream. If you're in the live chat, we're going to test your knowledge of Lego Masters, of my channel, Dave's channel, and it's going to be super awesome. And one lucky viewer will win the Bugs Bunny. Can anyone do a Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, what's up, Doc? I don't know.
Yes.
What all you get?
Was that Dave?
That was
Dave coming through with a clutch Bugs Bunny.
If I knew I was going to be with that, I would have brought a carrot up here, But
All right. So now this is the main event of the evening. That trivia is coming, so stick around for the trivia, because everyone in the chat, if you haven't been here for Bricktorious Live before, everyone in the chat gets an opportunity to participate in the trivia, and that's coming up just after AFL Spotlight Live.
Let's go! Climb aboard this proverbial Winnebago. We're talking about the awesome fans of Lego. So build your mock and shift it into drive. It's time for AFL Spotlight Live.
All right, AFL Spotlight Live. I said I was going to stop talking about it, but enough people have mentioned that they like the original AFL Spotlight music. I'm just going to keep using it. I thought about changing it. It used to be the name of my show. Now it's just a segment. But people, every week I get a comment saying, "I'm glad you're still playing." So this is the last time I'm going to say anything about it. From now on, I'm just going to use it.
All right, masses, don't get rid of it. I love it.
It's so good.
I love it.
Bryan Lauren, I'm going to put you up at the top there. You are our AFL Spotlights this evening. So give us a little history. You are brother and sister.
Mhm.
What's the age difference?
Mhm.
Can I ask that?
Yeah, we are 3 years apart.
Okay.
So yeah, we're both in our 20s. I'm 25. Lauren's 22.
You didn't have to say exactly how old you were, but
we did it.
Details.
All about the details.
So talk to me a little bit about where did Lego start for you as siblings?
Yeah, Lego started when my dad brought home a small pack of minifigures. It was a town folk set from the old city line, old town line, and it had a chef. It had a little kitty cat. It had a bicycle. And I just fell in love. I was 3 years old at the time when he brought this back. And it was the best thing I had ever seen. I remember I actually lost the kitty cat in a restaurant. And I think it was the very first temper tantrum that I ever threw was when I lost this little Lego kitty cat, because that set was everything to me. And then I just started building sets like crazy. It was just Star Wars came out right around that time. The very first Phantom Menace sets, that was huge. And then the year later, the Harry Potter sets came. So I was very much of that generation. The first Star Wars sets, first Harry Potter sets, I was just building nonstop and started building, my own stuff, mocks, which, I didn't know they were called that when I was 4, but I started building them around when I was about 4 years old.
That's cool. All right. So Lauren, how did you get connected?
Yes, that's because of Bryan. Because obviously he loved and loves Lego so much. So when I came into the picture and I was born, and once I was able to start basically having motor functions and control, Bryan wanted me to start building and start getting Lego sets. And what I got introduced to really early on were the Belleville sets, which were at that time kind of more focused towards a young girl audience, and I absolutely loved them. You could build lots with them, but they had bigger figurines instead of minifigures, and they were a lot of fantasy-based sets as well. And Bryan and I absolutely love fantasy, love fairy tales. We're big Disney people as well, and that definitely was just one of my all-time favorite toys growing up and things to do. I just absolutely loved Belleville, and it was Bryan wanting me to build with him so that we could build side by side. So, every holiday, birthday, we'd be getting sets and building together.
That is, it sounds so fun. I think when you talk about that, I think about watching my daughters, right? And they're like maybe 1 year further apart than you were. I had much older sisters, neither of whom were into Lego. So I was very much kind of like an only child when it came to like Lego play. Mm-hmm. But it's so much fun to watch them. So I'd love to hear your story. Now, talk a little bit about, and either of you or both of you can answer this question. How did you connect to Lego as adults? Where do those childhood stories connect to your stories as adults?
Yeah, so for me, I've been building nonstop. When I was little, I loved to submit things to Lego Magazine. That was so exciting. I was such a Lego Magazine kid. And so I submitted to a ton of things. And for one competition, I did get a build in Lego Magazine, and it was so exciting. That was a huge deal.
I remember being the most proud little sister, being like, "My brother is in a magazine." Like it was
fun. So that propelled me through so much of my childhood, and also going to Legoland. And I just really kept building all the way through. I don't really think I'd call them a dark ages, but maybe a small period in middle school, those teenage years, where you think maybe I'm going to do something else. And I still got sets, but I was really into this thing. And I don't know if anybody in the chat or anybody's heard of this, but there was a video game called Little Big Planet, which is a game where you can design your own levels. And that kind of became my pseudo Lego replacement for about 3 years. And that was really fun for me. It was the same sort of outlet, building worlds, creating things. But then I quickly transitioned out of that and was back to Lego right when I got to high school. So Lego was pretty consistent in my life, and for Lauren as well.
Yeah, I'd say for me as well. And I think similarly to Bryan, I had a few years where I wasn't as involved, but I think something that's really stayed for us always has just kind of been the Lego brand in a way, where we also, Bryan and I, absolutely loved all of the Lego video games. We grew up playing Lego Star Wars together, side by side, first on the PC and then on the PS. I don't know if it was a PS2 or PS3 at the time, because they continue to keep making more. And we Lego Indiana Jones, Pirates, Batman, all of those super fun video games. So that lasted as well, like through middle school. We would also play that. It almost even became a fun nostalgic thing into high school and beyond. Even this past time in quarantine, Bryan and I were going through and replaying all of the different, we went through all of the Star Wars Lego video games. And what we would do is we would watch one of the movies. No, we would first play all the levels, and then we would watch the movie, and then we would do the next set of levels, the next movie. And so I think Lego has just always been there in our lives. And as well, we were fortunate enough to grow up close to Legoland, California. And so growing up as kids, we were able to be annual pass holders. So it was, Lego games are the best. I agree. But we definitely have just had Lego in our lives forever, and then continuing to build. And I think Lego Masters has just been this incredible kind of cherry on top. It's amazing. And it's, of course, going to continue on in our life forever, but really, really fun moment.
Absolutely. Well, we'll talk more detailed about Lego Masters in a little bit. I've got some questions for you about Lego Masters. And at the end of the episode tonight, we'll take questions directly from those of you that are watching in the live chat. But before we do that, I'm curious, do you have any creations that you can show us?
We do. We have quite a few.
Hold on. Yeah. Before you show that, I can't help but notice you both have like some photography hanging in the background. Are you also? Is that true? Or
that's true. Yeah, I have here. I'll move out of the way. This one. No, wait, wrong way. So these were up here. Some photos that I took. I did a summer abroad at Oxford University and really loved it. It was like living out my Harry Potter dreams. And so these are photos of Oxford, and this is a map of California, but it's like a map of Middle Earth. So, big Lord of the Rings fan. Yeah.
Is it a map of Middle Earth, but in places in California? Exactly.
Yeah, it's the state of California, but it looks like a map of Middle Earth. Yeah,
that's incredible. I love it.
And then, to be honest, I picked the room with the best lighting, so I'm actually in the office. Those are my dad's albums in the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they look like
some cool ones.
But we are going to do a field trip with me to see the mocks when it's my turn.
That's great.
First. We're going to go on a little field trip.
All right. Yeah. It's that time. It's mock time. I need a theme song. Mock time.
Yes. All right. Well, I will start off. This feels very in theme with our Minifig Mystery. I have a build here. It is a bunny that I built, and this was actually a gift that I built for my girlfriend because bunnies are her absolute favorite thing. And so I built this for her. She let me borrow it just for today, but then I'm going to give it back. And he's holding a carrot. His arms are posable. His ears are posable, and they have clips on them as well so that they can be folded down for floppy ears or for straight up ears. So this was fun, all using snot technique, pretty much all the way through, with some variation at the neck place and at the feet here. There's a little bit of variation, but mostly using a snot technique.
That's
So
very
that's the
cool.
great,
And
you know-
I like the fact that you used the stem for the carrot topper because the carrot's bigger. I think that was super creative.
Right. Yeah, totally.
I have since moved locations.
I was
we
gonna
see
say,
that.
Lauren, you moved locations while I had Brian full screen like a pro. It was like
So
you're there.
Unique way to swap.
brilliant.
Do you want to go back and forth a little bit, or yeah, that sounds
Yes.
great. What do you got for us, Lauren?
So this is something that Brian and I built together, and as we mentioned, we are big Disney people as well. Grew up we're very close to Disneyland as well. So we built a version of the final scene of Beauty and the Beast, which is one of our all-time favorite Disney movies. I love Belle. I'm also a big reader. I really identify with her, and and so we built this together. And actually, I can't turn it on right now, but we even added the rose with a light box underneath. And it was just, we have so we've got, Gaston hanging for dear life. And of course, Belle and the Beast and in the castle. So that was a really fun mock that we worked on together.
That's awesome. I love the Beast and Belle and Gaston.
Now,
Are
Fett,
those
we can get some
Yeah,
closer up.
close-ups.
Yeah.
are
Very
those like
nice.
any particular standard, or did you just sort of create a scale for those characters?
Well, let's see. So yeah, we tag team this build. So I focused on the character part of it, and we wanted the characters to be a little bit large compared to the scale of the build, because we wanted them to kind of be the centerpiece of it all.
Really standard.
So the characters are a little bit larger than life, and then our castle was a combination of just using all of the tan bricks that we had left, and just we
Going
used
through
pretty much
old Harry
everything.
Potter sets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Them.
yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, I love it. I think that the Beast is probably my favorite part of that mock. We love Disney around here too. We're big Disney fans, and
we love it.
Beauty and the Beast hit at a
Dude, we have the whole movie memorized pretty much. We
And
Yeah.
that
love
whole
it,
first song, Belle's whole first song,
Mhm.
I love it.
I would love to build. Here
Provincial
I
town.
am going away, giving away giving away my ideas. I can't stand doing it, but I have so many that I can afford to let them go. Wouldn't the series of stained glass windows in transparent Lego bricks be incredible? Wouldn't that be cool? Like
Wow,
life-size?
that would be amazing. And you could tell the story with that. That would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
oh
That
wow.
was gorgeous. Oh my
All right.
God.
Brian, get another one ready. But Melissa
right.
Mayette with $20 super chat. Melissa, always a great support of the live streams here at Boone Builds. Thank you, Melissa. You are the best. Thanks for that. A high bat boon and a nice emoji there. Thank you, Melissa. You're awesome.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Brian, what do you got?
All right. In the Disney theme, we have a mock of the Disneyland castle.
Oh, I
Lauren
love
and I
the colors.
love
Let me full screen it.
Disneyland, and so we wanted to create this at a smaller scale, almost like it's part of like maybe the architecture series, like
Yeah.
kind of this like mid to mini scale. We really loved including the water down here, the little swans that are in the water, get some of the brick texturing in there, and Lauren and I love walking right through the castle. We always make a point to walk through the castle every time we go to Disneyland. So the Disney theme continues here.
That's
I really
awesome.
like the color palette that you use. It just looks
Thank
really
you.
good.
Thanks. Yeah, it's just what the castle in real life is. It's beautiful
love it.
colors for that
It is.
Sleeping Beauty castle. Yeah.
I'm excited to eventually go back. I miss it.
Mhm.
So, Dave, I'm sensing some real camaraderie between me and Brian and Lauren here on the Disney front. Are you a Disney fan?
Oh, absolutely. I have been I have been a Disney fan my whole life. I like animated movies. I like any of the movies, absolutely.
Awesome.
It's a little bit older, older movies are the ones that pop into my head, but no, absolutely.
Oh, I
I've seen all
bet we know them. We love the whole Disney archive.
Yep, I have Disney Plus and I watch it all the time.
Yep.
Well, yeah,
Yep.
the best.
I am so into, I was going to say the parks, but I've only been to Anaheim. So it's just Disneyland. I would go there. I would choose to go to Disneyland over anywhere else ever.
Yeah.
Unless I would love to get to go back to Billund someday, but you know, that's more of like a me or a business trip that tends to be. But like when I'm with my wife or I'm with my kids, there's no place I can imagine that I would rather go than Disneyland. All right.
Well, and I'm sure that's what, real quick, I'm sure that's what got me sparked is like when we were kids, you know, single digits, me and my brother, our relatives, our grandparents and whatever were down in California. And so we would go down there every week for spring break and we're going, oh man, we don't want to go visit the relatives. But the carrot was, okay, we're going to go to Knott's Berry Farm and we're going to go to Disneyland. And we did that every year for like 10 years in a row.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And Brian and I are actually really excited. In 2 Saturdays from now, we're going to be going and visiting the Downtown Disney Lego store, which is one of our all-time favorite Lego stores. It's amazing, and we're really excited to go back.
We're going with some of our other Lego Masters castmates. Randall's going to be there, and Michelle's going to be there. So we're all going to do a group trip to Downtown Disney Lego store.
Nice.
Oh, that's great!
I'm so excited. I can't wait. So that's really
I have a picture that I like to share when I get talking about Disneyland, and it's never, man, I just never have it handy. And I'm trying to see, you all keep talking, and I'm gonna scroll through like really old Facebook pictures and see if I can find this. I'll show it later.
Oh my gosh.
I was just at the Lego store, and they were talking to me all about the haunted house set, which I see right behind you, Boone, the awesome haunted house. And they were saying, you know, if you're a Disney fan, this is like adjacent, you know, this is like right up your alley. And I totally agree. And then we started getting into this whole conversation about all the Adventurers Johnny Thunder references that are in that haunted house set, which are so cool.
I not to plug my own creation on my own creation, but did you happen to see the video I made on all of the Easter eggs on Beyond the Brick?
I need to watch it.
Did
you count them all out?
Well, I didn't. It wasn't necessarily about like naming every single one. It was actually more like it was almost. I kind of got down these like conspiracy theory rabbit holes of like. Anyway, I don't. But it was a lot of fun to make, and it's probably in my top 5 or 10 favorite like video content that I've ever created. But it's over on Beyond the Brick. And
I'm going to be watching that.
We are watching that immediately.
I will be going over watching
that. A special love for Johnny Thunder. Because
and
when
you actually have some personal connection.
I do, yeah. When I was just really little, when I was 4 years old, my mom helped make this amazing costume. I dressed up as Johnny Thunder for Halloween, wearing a cardboard box painted like Johnny Thunder, a mustache out of makeup, and a hat, like an Indiana Jones style hat. And we put little Johnny Thunder on my shoulder right here for reference. And that was my Halloween costume that year. And we took part in the Legoland Halloween contest, and we won a little Lego lunchbox for it. It was a little, and I carried that around. That was my lunchbox for all of elementary school, was the one from the Johnny Thunder costume. So I love Adventurers. That was like, I was like right in the age range where Adventurers was like the biggest thing that Lego was putting out there. So when I saw that was in the haunted house set, I was like, oh my goodness, you guys know how to get me with the nostalgia play.
I have a photo of Brian in the costume. I can just hold up to the screen.
Oh gosh.
If y'all want to see. And I'm Ariel next to him trying to get and I apologize for that. But look at the little costume. See the
Brian as Johnny Thunder.
All of it. Facial, the drawn on mustache, and even the curved hat, and his hands in the yellow gloves.
Oh yeah. Hands as yellow gloves, just like this the whole time.
So cool. The hands must have been so sore at the end.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And what's so funny too is
I can't open my hands. They're stuck.
And with the big cardboard legs, kind of like waddle around. It's amazing. We have some really funny home videos of it too. It's so cute.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Brett Hooper in the live chat has been. He's one of my buddies. He lives right down the road. Been on Boone Builds a lot. I think Johnny Thunder is one of Brett's absolute favorites. So Brian and Brett, you share that in common. And speaking of friends in the live chat, Mark Crookshank said, "I remember Disneyland with Boone and Mel. Yeah, we got to go to Disneyland.
So fun."
Over the weekend one time while we were shooting Lego Masters Season 1.
Awesome.
We took Mel, and Mel had never been to Disneyland, and I don't even think he'd been to Mel. If you're out there, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even think Mel had ever been to anything like even remotely near kind of the spectacle and what do you call it, the level of kind of quality of all of those rides and experiences that is Disneyland. And so he was just blown away. He was blown away, and he got sick because he was just like too, dehydration in the heat and the whole day, and you don't eat, you're busy.
Like, you don't realize how much you have to walk around Disneyland. Like your step count is going to be high because it's.
I almost think that's more magical to get that discovery as an adult because you're going to remember it more probably than you do as a young kid. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Brett says Johnny is my favorite.
Yeah, Brett. Agreed.
All right. Well, do you have any other creations you want to show? Because I want to make sure we ask you at least a couple questions about Lego Masters.
Yeah, we can breeze through a few of them just really quick, right?
Yeah. All right. Here's mock lightning round.
We've got two back.
We've got a couple architecture mocks. We love architecture, so that.
Sorry,
right
guys.
there,
yeah, Brian.
That's cool.
So here, I'll just, while Lauren's holding the laptop. So the one on the left there is Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany, which is the castle that inspired the Disneyland castle. So definitely there's a through line here for the stuff we like to build. And then on the right there is the Duomo in Italy, and that's in Florence, Italy. And that one was really fun with using all the hinges and trying to get that dome just right. Get all the texturing right with the walls and the facade, and that one was just fun for the shape of it all. So
very cool.
those are just some architecture is a thing that we love. So
yeah. All right, I'm back. I'm gonna on a little field trip back to the other room.
All right, that's great. I think I saw the Up House. Was the Up House in there?
Yeah, the Up House is in there. So that one is, I have to do a shout out for that one because that one was inspired by Jonas Kram's amazing build. I saw that and I was like, I'm going to try to put my own spin on this. So I did my own spin on the Up House, but it was super inspired by his. So I want to give him the credit for that.
Yeah, he's an amazing builder.
He's so good. Yeah.
I got to know Jonas just a little bit online through the first Bricklink AFOL design program.
Nice.
Awesome dude. Incredible creations.
So talented. Yeah. All right. I have one last one. Last quick one. So this is because got to throw in some Star Wars because I love Star Wars. I'm in the process of making a mini mask series to complement the larger scale masks that Lego's putting out. So here's a mini Jango Fett.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So this is they made Boba Fett. So I was like, Jango's my era. I grew up with the prequels for better or worse. So I got to make Jango. And so here he is. And here's the backside as well, using, pretty classic snot sphere right here for the head. And
I like the bell bricks on the back.
Yeah,
that's great in that scale.
It works. Yeah,
you might have to share some tips on that because I'd love to have a little Boba Fett helmet in that scale.
Yeah,
over here.
For sure.
All right. Well, okay. So, can you just give us a little bit about how did it happen with Lego Masters? How did you go from being two Lego loving siblings to two Lego loving siblings who also wanted to do it on national television?
Well, I mean, let's do a shout out, Lauren. I mean, Boone, you were so inspiring to us. You are the man. We loved watching you on season 1, and we loved the show season 1. obviously, we had to watch it. This is perfect
Well,
for
this
us.
is going to be the coolest show ever. Yeah.
I was vaguely familiar with the show coming out because I went to a Lego-themed pop-up bar in downtown LA, and they were coming around with clipboards for all of these interested in Lego people, and they just were coming around taking down names. So I wrote down my name and my email, and they're like, okay, we'll give you a call if we're looking for more people. And I did not ever get that call, but but they were totally, pitching the show, and they're getting fans excited. And yeah, so I knew that the show was happening. Yeah.
Mark said, love Boone on season 1.
Mark, you're the man. You were so awesome. You guys, your team, mind-blowing. You guys are so talented. So we loved watching it. It was super inspiring. When season 1 ended, and I actually saw a Facebook ad for season 2, and I messaged Lauren just casually on Facebook saying, "Hey, you want to do this?"
I just fill out an application, and we did not think we were going to end up on the show. We were just kind of like, yeah, sure, we'll see.
Yeah.
So we don't think you're going to end up on it.
What we realized, and I mean, this is, I think, a lot of people have talked about this. Lego definitely does some degree of recruiting for the show. They want to find people who, they're excited about having on the show, as well as just taking submissions. And so we were just one of those teams that just cold applied, we're just sending
very few of us
an online application. And we're just let's see what happens. And then we got a call from somebody in casting. Yeah. He was in Switzerland at the time, and we were like, who is this guy in Switzerland?
And I remember it. I remember it was New Year's or New Year's Eve, and the whole day I was like,
we thought it was a scam. We were like, oh, what?
Yeah, I remember Brian being like, the guy called me. He's from Lego Masters. I was like, what?
Yeah. And then
did the both of you have a nice portfolio online of stuff that you could submit to them?
I was brand new to the Lego Instagram game. I had just started. Actually, this is another thing. Huge thank you to season 1 for inspiring me and empowering me to start my own Lego Instagram. I had not up to that point. And after seeing all the creations on there, I was like, okay, I would love to share my stuff as well, because I'm seeing this amazing stuff that everybody else is sharing. So that kind of prompted me. And so luckily I did have a bit of a backlog. It's small and still is pretty small. I still have a lot of stuff that I have photos of and am yet to put up there. But it was a very, very small portfolio. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, this picture over here, so I want to show this. This is the team picture of Bryan and Lauren, and Bryan, in this picture, you look so much more serious than I've ever, because when I first saw this picture, I didn't know you, but we had the opportunity to talk a couple of times, and you're so much more smiley and energetic than this picture shows. So what happened? How did they
posed? Did they ask you to pose that way?
They did. This is a posed photo. They said, all right, put your backs against each other, arms crossed, look serious. And so we didn't look serious. And all the other ones were smiling, we're goofing around.
And you know what's funny is we were known and are known as the very smiley team.
Right.
And then it was so funny because when these came out, it was kind of like, what?
Right. Yeah. This is probably the most serious you'll ever see us. Yeah.
It reminds me of that exact same moment when Mark and I took this picture, because Mark goes in and he's got his arms crossed, and I'm kind of doing kind of a silly face, and then they asked us to switch, so then I crossed my arms, and then Mark is making this big smile, and it just the way it came out, it was we look in that picture like the opposite of what we would naturally do. It was very, very strange, but
you feel it. Yes.
Yeah. We had people say, I don't even recognize you. Who is this?
Literally, yeah.
Plus, I'm wearing a suit, I'm wearing a blazer.
Bryan,
who is this guy? Yeah.
Yes. Those are for the show.
That's great.
Awesome. Well, we'll have time for more Lego Masters questions after we do our trivia. But for right now, we're gonna get that started. So if you're in the live chat, get ready for trivia. And think about the questions that you want to ask Bryan and Lauren, because we're going to do that at the very end of the show. And trivia is going to start in just under 3 minutes. And if I can share the right screen, then we'll have a moment to we'll stop that and we'll do this one. Right.
Mark says, "I look goofy, so stupid." That's what Mark said in the chat about himself.
Yeah, talking about that
reminded.
Yeah, I'm sure about that picture. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. If you haven't been around for Bricktorious Live Trivia before, it is about to begin in just over 2 minutes. Each question will have 4 possible answers. One of those 4 answers will be correct. And if you're watching on YouTube, all you have to do is put the number 1, 2, 3, or 4 of the correct answer. If you're watching over on Facebook with us, thanks for watching. And on Facebook, because of their algorithms, you might want to put the correct number of the answer and a little bit of extra text, either the text-based answer or just like a hey or I think it's number 5 or there's no 5. I think it's number 3 or I think it's number 2, because on Facebook they like a little text in there to make sure that you're not some sort of spam bot. All right, we are now 1 minute and 30 seconds away. There will be 7 questions, and the winner at the end will win the Bugs Bunny minifigure from the Mystery Minifig. Real quick, you got 1 minute, Bryan and Lauren. What would you say is your favorite moment of the 3 episodes we've seen so far?
Oh.
You got it, Lauren.
I was going to say my favorite is when our froggy explodes.
When it explodes.
I would agree.
When it explodes.
I would agree with that. When we watched it back and we're just like, what?
And realizing that the tongue nearly hit Lola, and then it hit her little bomb plunger. And
pollen bomb, yeah.
Yeah, and then it didn't hit her. So,
and of course, the slow motion really adds to the drama, which you don't really see when you're actually there, I presume.
Right.
But
it's exciting. We saw a version of it going, but at that point, you're so in the moment. I just realized she was still there. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how close it was. What about you, Brian? I know
the same. Yeah, that would be probably the favorite. And I think in episode 1, when, our big Rapunzel tower was coming around the bend and everything was working, the motion, the motor on our Prince character was going, and
we had 2 motors
was moving. I was just like, thank goodness. That was a really exciting moment.
Prince. Oh, that was fun.
All right. We'll definitely talk more Lego Masters after the trivia. Here it goes, everybody. I hope they're all spelled correctly. Number 1, which current Lego product line has been running the longest? 1, Technic. 2, Mindstorms. 3, Star Wars. Or 4, Duplo. Which of those is the current Lego product line that has been running the longest? Real quick, we got 18 seconds. Bryan, you mentioned your first set, right? That little it was a cat?
It was a town minifigure set.
Town minifigure set with a cat. Lauren, did you mention your first set?
Mine was a little Belleville fairy set, and I remember it was Christmas Eve, and Bryan was helping to teach me how to build it.
The Belleville fairies are so cool.
They're awesome.
They're so
awesome.
weird and awesome.
Yes,
I know minifigures are very popular. Minifigs are like the cornerstone of Lego characters, right?
Yeah.
Especially even they just, I think, have grown and grown and grown in popularity exponentially. But I love the weird figures that are not minifigures.
Yes. I mean, they have little Belleville babies, all these things.
Those are wild.
The Belleville baby. It was Duplo, everybody. Of those, Duplo is the one that has been around the longest. Duplo came out in 1969.
Wow.
And it has been around nonstop since 1969. Technic, I think, was 1988, and before that it was called like Expert Builder for a little while. Star Wars, of course, we didn't get until 99. I think Mindstorms was 95 or 96 or 97. Duplo was the correct answer. And we got a lot of folks with the correct answer there. So
Yes.
congratulations
Right.
on question number 1. And
Good job,
question number
guys.
2, which minifigure was the first to have short legs?
That's a good question.
Number
This
1,
is amazing.
Time Cruiser's Timmy. Number 2, Dobby the House Elf. Number 3, Robin. Or number 4, Yoda. Which was the first minifigure to have short legs? When I started Bricktorious Live, I wasn't anticipating doing trivia every week, and I won't. There will be weeks in the future where I come up with something else interesting. It's just so engaging for the live chat to have something to participate in. So finding alternatives will be interesting, but I wasn't anticipating doing this every week. And I've been impressing myself a little bit that I've been able to come up with these questions, new questions every week.
Yeah, they're
run
fun.
out eventually.
Sure, for sure. Oh my gosh.
Any guesses, Lauren? You got a guess? Do you know?
I'm not quite sure with this one. I'm in between 2, and I want to know if
Okay.
I get it right.
Okay.
What I
Right,
think
you
is
okay?
really interesting is that Dobby and
Yes!
Yoda,
Sorry.
their respective movies came out in, I think, the same year, 2002 for each.
I was between Dobby and Yoda.
Yeah, so
Was it-
that's really interesting.
So you think the Dobby figure came out the same year that the Yoda figure came out?
That's what, but maybe Dobby came out in 2003. That's what I'm not sure about. This
All right.
one's
All right.
good. This
Now
one's
it's-
good because Yoda. I know the exact
little
first
roll for
sets for
them.
Dobby and Yoda,
Yeah.
so I'm really
They
curious.
didn't
to hear
have
the
any.
history here.
They were just like faces without any printing on them, right?
Yeah, they
That's
had
the
those.
secret.
Yeah, no printing on the faces, right?
And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, when I picked the wrong answers for that one, I just pulled Dobby out of the air. I had no idea it was going to be so poignantly. We'll have to do some fact checking. All right. Since 2013, the line of yellow Lego boxes containing wide varieties of assorted parts has had what name? 1, basic. 2, freestyle. 3, classic. Or 4, Dacta. Which of those has been, since 2013, the yellow boxes with varieties of assorted parts?
I'm guessing that one is going to have probably a fairly overwhelming single choice, but we'll
I
see.
think so too.
I'm seeing a lot of people with a consistent answer here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here it is. Secret Squirrel Bricks and Matthew Cioletti went with the roads less traveled, I think maybe in hopes that they could pick up some extra points. And if you haven't heard me say it before, correct answers gets points here, and speed gets points. So if we get to the end of the 7 questions and a number of people have answered 7 questions correctly, then the number 1 spot will go to the fastest answers. It's classic. 28 others. Let's see, those 6: Raymond, Fabufan MKE, and Brett, and a bunch of others said classic. What is that? Stay home, you got this, Maria. Oh, is that a quarantine reference? So, have you ever had, real quick here? Oh, we're almost out of time. We'll do the next one. I want to talk about the thing where people say Lego doesn't release any boxes anymore that are just loose bricks for play. Do you ever hear that from people that are like people that are just sort of like not really that into Lego, that they complain about? Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
What Lego fan convention, and it's the first time working an announcement into a trivia question. What Lego fan convention will Boone and Mark appear at August 27th through 28th, 2021? Is it 1, Brick Slopes, 2, Bricks Cascade, 3, BrickCon, or 4, Brick World?
Not going to say anything other than we're getting some interesting answers in the chat.
I miss it. Did y'all, Bryan, Lauren, did y'all go to fan conventions before Lego Masters?
Very few. So we're so excited to get into the convention world. I have been to Bricks LA once. That is it. So I'm so ready to just get into it.
Seriously.
The conventions are so much fun. I've only been twice, but I was just completely hooked the first time.
Yeah.
Dave, I feel like I know you way too well for you to have only been to Bricks Cascade twice.
Yeah, I've only known you for like 3 years.
So we fooled a lot of people with that one. Bricks Cascade is our local show, but we won't get a full Bricks Cascade until 2022. Mark and I have just agreed to head down to Utah for Brick Slopes in August 2021. It will be in August. It will be my first Lego convention in, I think, 18 months.
Wow.
Cody Otley is involved with that, right?
Absolutely. Cody
I bet
Otley.
we'll see, Jen and Susan probably.
Jen and Susan will definitely be there.
Yeah, that's their home show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got 3 more questions left. Dave Morgan's YouTube channel predominantly features his mocks of what genre? 1, military vehicles. 2, pop culture. 3, architecture. Or 4, Star Wars. So, Dave, we'll see how many of these folks were paying attention earlier and how many others have maybe checked out your channel. And if you want to check out Dave's channel, you can find a link in the description of this video, as well as links to Bryan and Lauren's Instagram accounts. And then there's one more link down there for Brian's.com. So some cool stuff at all of those locations. Please check them out. Links in the video description. And I'll try to remember to pop those up on screen one time before we are done here. All right, Dave Morgan's YouTube channel predominantly features his mocks of what genre? What do you think, Dave? How would you describe your channel?
Military vehicles all the way.
A lot of people were just disappointed when you said that. Definitely.
I've gotten hooked on doing mocks of real world buildings. I drive down the street now and I see a building and I go, ooh, I bet I could do that in Lego.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Love it. Totally.
It's interesting because I build pretty much almost exclusively in minifig scale, so I need a lot of parts.
Oh, yes.
Wow. Yeah. That's big.
Well, I loved your Jurassic Park structure that you've just recently finished is really, really something.
Thank you. That's one of my favorites that I've done because I loved all the foliage. I love lots of foliage, and that's part of Jurassic Park, so. But thank you.
So realistic. So realistic. All right. In Lego Masters Season 2, Episode 2, this one should be easy. Bryan and Lauren built a creation with predominantly featured what animal? 1, turtle. 2, lizard. 3, gecko. Or 4, frog.
I like
which of those is correct?
Of course, not that this has anything to do with the question, but now I have insurance popping into my head.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You won the challenge.
We did.
Yeah.
How did it feel?
It was so exciting.
It was so awesome. We loved it. Yeah. I mean, all the other builds were so amazing. It was just like, yeah, we were blown away by everything that everyone did, but we were so happy to get that win. It was really exciting.
It was really exciting.
Lauren and I both loved it. This felt like a storytelling based thing, and Lauren and I really love telling stories, so this felt like something that was in our wheelhouse, and we loved it.
We had stories to all of our builds. We absolutely love it.
One of the things that I think is just so cool about the Lego community, and you especially see it on Lego Masters, is how, regardless of who wins and who doesn't, you guys all get to be like a family, and you're sad when somebody has to leave, and you're helping each other out sometimes, and it's just really cool to see that.
Yeah, we still all talk every day. We really are like a family. We love everybody so much.
That's so true.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really unreal. It's unlike anything else.
Yeah.
All right, we are heading into our last question of this evening. We will pick a winner of the Bugs Bunny minifigure. And get your questions ready, your Q&A questions ready, because we'll just have a few minutes at the end of the stream to ask Bryan and Lauren. And if you got questions for Dave and I, that's fine too. We'll do a couple questions, handful of questions from the live chat. Last question. What Lego character did Bryan dress up as for Halloween as a 5-year-old? 1, Tahu the Bionicle. 2, Jack Stone. 3, Johnny Thunder. Or 4, Nick Bluetooth. Which of those is the correct answer?
I'm not sure.
I just have to say there are some amazing answer choices in here.
Yeah, there are actually.
Yes.
Boone is very creative at that kind of stuff.
Yes.
I wish. Well, we all worked together. I should say. I had most of these questions loaded before Bryan and Lauren got on. In the pre-show, but we picked. This was Bryan and Lauren's idea for a question, and we all kind of brainstormed the ideas for the incorrect answers together. And
I mean, Nick Bluetooth, like, if people know what Nick Bluetooth is from, that is a deep dive. It is awesome.
Yeah.
it was Johnny Thunder. It was Johnny Thunder. All right.
Good job.
We all have to make vintage computer sounds while the votes are tabulated. Ready? Here we go. Bloop, 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 bloop,
What is it gonna be?
The computer, it is a vintage computer. It's taking a long time to tabulate the answers.
That's the name.
Seems like we should be seeing a clock run here somewhere. Okay, start putting those questions. Start putting your questions for Q&A. We've got just a few minutes here, and whoa, Brett Hooper, congratulations, and Mark
Nice.
Crookshank in a third.
Mark.
We have in second place there, Rage. I think it's probably Rage Against the Machine, but we've got an A and an M shortened there. Even down in the other players, we had people with 7 correct. So Brett was Quick Draw McGraw, aka Johnny Thunder, on this round of Q&A.
I have to say, I wasn't
trivia.
going to say this, Boone, but I actually predicted that he would be somewhere up near the top because he just typically is. He's all over it.
Mark says, I know them.
Yeah, Mark. You do.
Brett Hooper says, "Are you going to mail it or throw it? You can just swing by. I'll give it to you when I return whatever the last thing I borrowed from you was." All right, congratulations, Brett. You get to have the Bugs Bunny minifigure. All right, what do you got? Q&As in the chat. We've only got a few minutes. Bryan, Lauren, we usually end right at the hour. Are you cool if we stay like 5 minutes past or something like that?
Yeah,
oh, Dave, you have a meeting, right?
That's okay. The person I'm meeting with is watching.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go.
We've got all night. We're good.
I've got 6:57. I'm gonna say let's do we'll go 5 minutes over, so we've got 8 minutes for Q&A. Beta Brick says, "Do you prefer to build mocks with function or lots of detail?" What would you say is your emphasis?
Lauren and I would agree that detail. Yeah, detail all the way. Function is relatively new for us. Wasn't a Mindstorms or Technic kid. Much more of a building castles and building architecture kind of kid. So all about details for me. Yeah, and Lauren.
Same,
Yeah.
not a Technic kid.
Yeah. Awesome.
It is impressive, though.
Yeah.
Dave, what's your answer?
It's kind of neither. I don't like doing details. I'm not very good at it, so I never build interiors, which is why it's good to do architecture, because especially when it's displayed at a convention, because you can't open it anyway. So I like to concentrate on the facade of the buildings, and so I guess you could say details in that way, just maybe not to the level of detail of like a modular building.
I'm totally function. Almost every idea I have is around trying to make my model do something that maybe no one's ever seen before. And I will, once I accomplish the technical, this was why Mark and I were great teammates, is once my brain tackles the technical challenge, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm done. I don't care what it looks like. It does a cool thing. Right.
What you do that I really like, Boone, is how you integrate Mindstorms or the controllers in a lot of your builds, and it just gives them a lot of character.
Yeah, thanks. I love to do that. Y'all got to check out Brick Bat Dad. He's been doing some motion like power Mindstorms, not Mindstorms, power functions and powered up motion in his Batman builds that are he's blowing my mind with every new thing he releases.
Mind-bogglingly cool. Yep.
All right, Nick's got a great one that we can do real quick. Favorite ride at Disney?
Oh gosh, I need to do that really quick, but there's so many. Like, I actually love storybook boat. The Storytale storybook boat ride where you go through Monster of the Whale's Mouth, and it's all small modular buildings of all different Disney fairies.
It's so Lego.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I just want to see all the little details. I want to live and be able to just walk around that ride and look at everything.
Yeah, it's like Miniland. It's like Miniland at Legoland.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I have a quick but two-part answer. Favorite current ride, Space Mountain. Favorite now defunct ride, now changed into something else, is Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror.
R.I.P.
I love Tower of Terror.
My
I
heart.
love Tower of Terror shot glass because I just love that really small little thing.
Yeah,
oh, no.
Absolutely. You're kind of breaking up a little bit, Lauren, but I think we caught the gist of what you were saying. Okay, you're back.
I was saying, no, you're good.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was so sad when Tower of Terror closed. I actually bought a Tower of Terror shot glass so I could have something small. I don't drink from it. I just have it on display in my room because I needed something like a souvenir from the ride.
Yep.
So, Brian, my favorite ride of all time is Space Mountain. And my wife Danny's favorite ride was Tower of Terror. And it's gone now.
Yeah.
It's gone now. Dave, you got a favorite ride?
Yeah, and it's a really vintage one because I'm vintage. It was probably, as a kid, it just really what struck me, and that's the Matterhorn.
Love the Matterhorn.
Oh,
is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then more on a technology scale, the Star Tours, it was also really cool.
Star Tours is amazing, and I do miss the original Star Tours before they changed it to the more modern one.
Yeah,
OG one.
I don't mind the modern one, but I loved the original.
I love the comets part.
Comets.
Best part.
Belle says, what did you learn most about building by being on Lego Masters?
That's such a great question. I think so.
A lot.
I feel like Lego Masters pushes you to really think about the Lego brick in really new ways in terms of its strength, its durability, as we saw in the last challenge, the ways that you build to achieve goals that you never thought you would have to achieve with Lego. You really think about like how it's manufactured almost. It's a weird thing to say, but you're like thinking about how this plastic is going to hold together in the best way. And I'm usually thinking about Lego from such a visual standpoint, and to think about it from that point of view was really new for me. I don't know. What about you, Lauren?
For sure. I'd say the same. And also, you're going to see a lot in the next episode as well. We got a teaser of that at the end of episode 3.
Oh, yeah. We got a little teaser, but we can't say too much.
We can't say anything. But for those, and then, the 3 challenges that we've seen so far, you just have to think of Lego in a whole different way. Like for the second one, how to build it breakable, but not too breakable that it breaks before it goes out for the explosion. There's just so many different things to think about. And also, of course, as Boone, working on a time clock is totally different. So much more stress. And just kind of thinking like, we don't have the time for this. We just got to go for it. We got to get it done. And just different. You don't have the time to think about it. Go back, marinate. No time for that.
Absolutely. Mine was trust your partner. Man, Mark and I had so many moments where like all it took was trusting each other, and we would do great. So surround yourself with incredible people and trust them. All right, let's do oh man, I hate to do this to y'all because you've asked so many good questions in the live chat. But I think we can only do one more, and I want to make it a good one. That one's fun, but what is it? No,
I can't see the questions. I'm just on the screen.
Wasting time.
I haven't seen them.
I just saw y'all win the explosion challenge on Fox Replay. How weird was that for y'all? Talked about that a little bit earlier. We'll do. This is from Shane. Says because it was a cake builds this week. Because of the cake builds this week, and maybe before you answer the question, how we had Babygate on our season. So how was it with the dueling cakes?
We had gates. The producers wanted it to be a thing.
Call it that. Yeah.
We didn't really want to call it a thing.
Oh, wow.
But the cakes were so different. We had a birthday cake. They had a wedding cake. We had no idea they were building a cake until like 7 hours in. We were like, look at that.
they're building a cake as well. But you just keep going with it, and they were different, and they were both.
Yeah.
Both
One thing we do want to mention about our build really quickly, because it didn't quite make the final cut of the show. We had a build story with our build. It was Georgina the Giant's birthday cake. And on it, we put all these minifigures, and those are human sprinkles that are plastered to the side, screaming for their lives. Lauren found every single scared minifigure face.
That took me a long time. Like, I was running back and forth to the brick pit, handfuls, like pulling them all through my hand, just looking for the terrified ones.
The idea is that Georgina the Giant gets so excited about her birthday every year that she bounds into the room and topples the cake. So we wanted the cake to be strong enough to withstand Georgina's birthday.
So we wanted to make like a little story for why it was shaking. And so we're thinking of like a whole fairy tale land of giants. And this is the princess's birthday cake. And that she gets only the best. She gets all the little minifig human sprinkles.
Oh, that's gross and hilarious.
We had and Will cracked up when we told it to him.
So to answer the question though, Lauren, what's your favorite dessert? So bring it back to
some of my favorite desserts are, I love banoffee pie, which is more of a thing in the UK, or sticky toffee pudding are some of my top favorites.
I'll see.
Awesome.
I like that.
Brian, you got a favorite dessert?
Creme brulee. Empty and good. I like it very much.
Okay.
Dave, you got a favorite dessert?
Anything with dark chocolate.
Nice.
Good. That's good.
My favorite dessert, and it's only very recently, probably in the last year or two, been introduced to me, is the what is it called? Cinnamon Toast Crunch Crispy Treat.
Ooh.
So Rice Krispie treat, but instead of Rice Krispies, it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That sounds incredible.
So
now I
need to have that. Oh my god!
Try it.
I need to have that.
We got to get Dave off to his meeting. Dave, thank you for co-hosting tonight. Brian, Lauren, you're both awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have as many season 2 folks on in the next 10 weeks as I can. But after that, I would love to have y'all back just to hang out if you're interested.
Definitely.
We would love that. Thank you, Boone. This is awesome.
Thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
Absolutely. Sam Fazoom, Brickham's Den, Mark Crookshank, everybody. Shane is here. Legomatic was here. Brett Hooper's been with us. Matthew, we had Holly a little bit earlier. We've got Brick Jedi, Legomatic, Bell, Secret Squirrel Bricks. You are all so wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who did some super chats tonight. Thank you so much to my moderators. Real quick, if you want to find Brian on Instagram, he's there at Bryan_builds. If you want to find Lauren on Instagram, she's there at Lauren Ferks. Is it Ferks?
Yeah.
That's great. I love that last name. And a last name that you can use as a gentle expletive as well. So
yes, coaches did that all the time when I was playing sports.
Thank you all so much for watching. Please like this video, hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe to Boone Builds if you want to see more like this in the future. Again, Brian, Lauren, Dave, thank you so much. And all of you out there, please go have a great weekend and build something amazing.